Hi there guys, this is John with ContainmentCrew, and I know a lot of people have been saying I haven't modded anything in a while, and that's quite true. The last actual mod video that we had up was, I think it was my long shot, but that was actually done about this time last year when I actually put that together. So, I've been really busy with work since September-ish, and a lot of things that I wanted to get done had to get cut short. The containment crew suit got cut real short. We had to cut a lot of parts out of that to get it done for, for the fall games. But I got a little bit of time here, and honestly, I couldn't think of anything to get Charles for Christmas. So he's been talking about wanting to get a Longstrike done up with Elite Internals, so he went and we've had this Longstrike for a while now. I believe he picked it up in a bundle with some other blasters that he got from I don't know, a thrift store or something along those lines. But he went out and he actually picked up a Retaliator not too long ago. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get this done for a Christmas gift for Charles, and I figure while I'm sitting down and doing this, I might as well record it and document how I'm going about doing this. It shouldn't be too hard, but there are a couple of things in here that I think might be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and start ripping these down, and I'll be back after that all happens, I suppose. Okay, so got screws out, which is always fun in a Longstrike. I hate these larger blasters. They've got way too many screws. Although Stampedes are still worse. Ugh, Stampedes. But yep. Let's pop the case open. And if we haven't seen a Longstrike before, there you go. Yeah, reverse plunger. It's a shame. It would have been so nice if they did these right the first time. This really could have been a good blaster. This, I'm gonna get that out of my way. I'm not even gonna deal with that now. So, jam door. Alright. And we'll bring the Retaliator into frame. So basically the goal of this is to replace this whole system with the Retaliator's internals. So let's start by taking things out of here that we'll need. We'll need to keep the catch, and we'll need to keep this system. And the only part of this locks. It's stuck in the slide. Most of this is going to end up in my parts box anyway. I just want that. There shouldn't be anything else in here that I need. This is probably all going to go into my parts collection. And this really, we need the back end of this. So put that aside and start prying this apart and taking out things that we don't need. Shouldn't need the catch, although catch height is about the same. The width is drastically different. Might have to take the side bars from the catch and apply them to the edge of the Retaliator catch for alignment purposes. Or I might just end up getting out a sheet of polycarb and carving my own catch. Well, we'll come across that later. And this whole piece here, and we got locks and locks and locks. All these locks are coming out. They're not going to be used. Trigger we're keeping. This is for the mag release. That's got to be kept. This bolt sled, we're going to need the bolt sled. That's going to go away, and I'm going to take the lock out of the bolt sled right now because we're not going to need that. This is going to fly off because there's a spring in it. There we go. Shouldn't need any of that. So we got that. And this half prime lock can come out. Got no need for it. And all the little springs that go along with this. Come on. It will come out of there. Okay. That piece is captive. Okay. Sorry for bringing this out of frame. There's a little orange piece down there. It appears to be glued in. It's not in the way, so it can stay. And this bar will be staying. It goes on this way. Okay, so clear the atrocious mess out of here. This end cap I'm probably going to reuse, so it can stay. Jam doors out of the way. Okay, so now the goal here is to get this in here, get the new catch in here, definitely going to need to do something about that, and attach these two, fuse these two together. So I'm going to cut here and start theorizing some things, and when I am back I'll start recording again. Alright, I just got a quick note here, because while I was playing with this, I noticed something that I never noticed about the Longstrike before, and that's the bolt sled actually passes into the catch, which that's going to be an issue because the retaliator catch is not that wide. So, well, I think what I'm going to have to do is take the bolt sled and trim it off, or possibly going back to my original idea of cutting a completely original catch for this. Because I'm probably also going to have to cut some sort of spring stopper plate as well, because I'm going to need something that the spring can rest up against and the plunger rod fit through. So yeah, this might be a little bit more work than I was thinking it was going to be. Alright, I'll be back when I have something else to talk about. Alright, so we're back again, and as you can see, my table's slowly becoming more of a mess. I have gone ahead and cut a custom catch plate here that takes both the qualities needed from both the original Longstrike catch, as you can see by the shape, and then the actual catch point and lip that's on the retaliator catch. So this took about an hour to cut on a scroll saw and clean up with a Dremel, as well as maybe the camera will pick it up or not, but it is beveled at the catch point, just like the retaliator catch. And that is because the plunger tube actually moves into the catch slightly in order for it to get to its maximum draw point. But I just wanted to mention that before I move on to anything else. Alright guys, as you can see, things are starting to come together. I've been sitting here testing the catch for the last couple of minutes, as well as the bolt assembly. Actually, I probably shouldn't say the last couple of minutes. It's been about an hour trying to get this all together, because I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff I'm going to cut out, so I'm going to go back over everything now. Oh, excuse me. So the catch appears to be working. I got a spring on it. It holds the plunger rod back, but I got to work on something for retaining the spring next. But I'm just going to pop the whole assembly out here so that you can see it. I don't have the O-ring on it right now, but this whole thing, to get the length and everything right, it took about an hour of just fooling around, cutting, checking, checking checking the travel distances, trimming off a slight bit more, checking it again, trimming it a little more, checking it again. But overall, it was a lot of work to get this to meet up correctly. I will note that the tube for the bolt piece for the Longstrike, the back half of it past the air restrictor part, which is right in here, but from this this weld here where they meet the two pieces up back is a slightly larger diameter and will not fit into the front of the plunger tube here unless you sand it down a lot. But right now it's moving nice and smooth. I took the O-ring off of this for just so that I didn't lose it, and so it didn't get gummed up with anything. But I've got this working all fairly smooth now, and what I'm up to is finding a way to retain the spring. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was supposed to note right now, but yeah, catch is working. A lot of work to get the bolt lined up. To attach this together, I don't know if maybe the camera can pick it up, maybe it can't, but I gotta get the angle right. But I don't know if you can see down in there, there's a bit of a dark ring showing. That is a small piece of 1/2-inch aluminum that's sandwiching these two together. It's just running from about here to here, and then the whole thing's super glued up. So it should stay together. Most of the force that's going to be on this is going to be a backwards force anyway, so there's no flex in any other direction too much. So this should hold up nice and sturdy. But I'm gonna go start working on getting something together to retain the spring. Right now I've been playing around with a couple of PVC couplers. They're just about, well, I think what I'm going to have to do is socket a small piece of 1/2-inch PVC down into a coupler, because the spring won't slide into the PVC, but this barely makes it, so I'm probably going to bore this out a little bit, make sure it's nice and rounded, socket it into a coupler, so that the spring will be retained into the coupler with a little piece of PVC sitting down in there, just so that the spring can't pass through, but the rest of the plunger back will. I'm actually going to have to recheck this because I'm not sure if this might not actually fit. I might have to do a little cutting to the shell to make this work, but it's coming along, and hopefully pretty soon, well, it won't be pretty soon for you guys, it'll be pretty soon for me, but it will be almost instantly. You'll see the next step of this. Thank you, Internet Magic. Okay, so I'm back after recharging my camera's battery this time. But I just want to go over what I did to retain the spring here. So this actually turned out to be a lot easier than I thought it would be, because I noticed that these PVC couplers that I have, I believe these were from Home Depot, but a lot of these things are locally sourced, so they're coming from some manufacturing plant that's nearby. So not all PVC is made equal, and I'm sure everybody that's tried to work with it before has noticed that the pipes aren't always consistent. But the ones that I have fit very nice and neatly in there. So I just took a coupler, and the couplers that I happen to have, they have a stop right in the middle of the ring. And I'll bring that up, and we can see that the second piece in there is a little ring of just 1/2-inch PVC. And I believe, as I stated before, the spring can't move through the 1/2-inch. So the whole thing for the side that meets up with the spring and the plunger rod is beveled slightly. I just did that with a knife. It seems to flow nice and smooth, but I'm going to put this all back together and fire a couple rounds through it. I would like to make another note that I have seen people state that they needed to, when they were doing this, and I think the conversion on the Alpha Trooper, if you put in the Elite Alpha Trooper internals into a regular Alpha Trooper, that you need to put a stop point in here. The Longstrike normally has a stop up front where the normal reverse plunger tube comes up to and stops against. The Retaliator plunger tube stops right there too, so there's no need to put a stop post in here for the pegs. So I just wanted to make that note. The only thing I would say is maybe down the line just put a piece of padding down there. I think I'm actually going to tear open a old rubber washer and line the actual plunger tube itself with it. But there we go. I'm going to start putting this back together, and I'll be back to show you guys firing some rounds out of it. Okay guys, I got it back together. I've put a couple of rounds through it and it seems to be working well. I didn't put the stock back on, but while I did have this open, I did do the removable stock mod to it. There's actually two ways to do that. You can either bevel this side, which is not the way I do it, or you bevel the clips that are in the back of the blaster, and that's the way I did it. But it should snap back on, and then it really shouldn't want to come off unless you give it a nice firm tug, and it will pop off. But it's really rather hard to come off, so for the most part, you'd never know it was removable unless somebody told you. Sorry about all the junk in the back. That's all my actual real equipment for woodworking. But let's run some darts through this just to prove that it works. Okay. How many more? That was it? Okay. As you can see, it is working. It's got that nice elite pop to it. The darts are hitting the wall, which is about 25 feet from here, with a decent amount of noise, so I imagine the force on them is pretty good. I'd actually do a test on this to see how it stacks up against a regular Retaliator, but there's a lot of snow on the ground right now, so can't really do that. But hopefully Charles will be happy with this, because I know he's wanted this to be done for a while, and I keep telling him, look, you know, I'm not working on a Longstrike again. There's too many screws and stuff in it. But you know, present. So yeah, hopefully all the footage comes out all right and everything's pretty clear as to what I did with this. I will say the hardest part for this was actually lining up the bolt sled and everything and getting those two things matched up. It took a lot of little tweaking, putting things together, not quite gluing them yet, checking tolerances, and just playing with it until I got something that was working smoothly, and then actually gluing it all together and letting it, you know, sit and rest. But yeah, you can complete this mod without doing custom catch. I just did a custom catch because I just felt that it needed it. I've heard of people doing it with gluing spacers on the sides of this catch. I don't know how well that actually holds up, but I just like the idea of having a nice solid piece polycarbonate catch. But as you can see, you know, it primes back, it locks back there, everything catches fine. I'm not going to dry fire this because it is completely AR'd. All the regular locks are removed because I don't think you can actually use this blaster now. If there were locks in there, the doesn't have the right plunger tube to hit the locks and unlock it. But overall, hopefully Charles will like this, and don't worry about spoiling anything, guys, because he's going to get this long before this video actually goes up. But hope you enjoyed seeing me mod something. Hopefully I explained things well enough. And again, if you need to get in touch with us, I'm going to say this again, Facebook is the best way to get in touch with us right now. I'm having a lot of trouble with G+. I'm not able to respond on YouTube for whatever reason, and when I go over to G+, I'm not seeing the comments over on G+, so I have really no way to reply to things. So Facebook seems to be working, so that's where we're going to be. We're going to keep posting videos on YouTube, but Facebook is going to be the best way to contact us. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully Charles will enjoy this as well. See you later.